Hey, what's up, man?
Hi Alberto, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Can't sleep. What time is it where you are? Sorry, I think I was covering my microphone. What time is it where you are? Can
Uh,
you hear me, Aki?
yes, yes. So it's around 12:15 right now in India.
Oh, you're in India. Nice, nice. Yeah, most of the people that come to the spaces I host are from India. I don't know why.
What time is it right now over there?
It is 4 4 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. in the 4 a.m.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, I have problems to sleep. So tell me, I see in your profile that you are in cybersecurity.
Yes,
Nice, nice.
nice.
Uh,
I also heard
what,
about
what?
your. I listened to your this thing, the podcast, sometime back.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about my story?
It was really bad thing happened to you. That shouldn't be happening in that way. Uh, I
Yeah,
feel kind of sad that you had to stay in prison, all those bad things, bad days, bad
yes,
memories.
yes. I'm still paying the consequences of that. It's been really hard for me, and nobody should live what I had to live. So I'm trying to let all the world know my story. So I hope that nobody else lives this. And I know in India you're living a situation where um, it's complicated. Not talking about only the coronavirus, but your government is really strict, and I can imagine that in India also happens things like what happened to me.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I am aware of the situation, and it's very similar to hear from what I heard from other people from India. You have a lot of censorship, right?
Yep, yep.
Yes. Well, I have been researching and I have talked a lot regarding the Pegasus situation, which for me is just type of the iceberg because all of the governments around the world actually use some kind of system to monitor everybody they want. What's about Pegasus? It's just something that was published by the media, but the reality is that it happens everywhere. What are your thoughts about Pegasus?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I can hear you now. There's some issue with
Okay.
your phone. Hello.
No.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about Pegasus?
Pegasus. I'm not sure what's going to happen because it was also taken up in the parliament. But Pegasus is kind of bad thing that happened, and uh, not sure how government is taking that up and they're taking action on that. So no response from the government yet.
Yes, and I think they will never answer because the strategy in those cases is to first try to uh, don't give much relevance to the information, then try to um, not give a relevance to the source of information, and then they just don't talk anymore about that. It is something that they don't want to talk, and they will not talk anymore. They will just refuse to speak about that, I think.
Yep, yep. So I believe that is what is happening right now, and it was there in news for almost 1 or 2 weeks now. It's been silent right now. So the opposition party was protesting that they should bring this thing to the table and that needs to be discussed in the parliament. But
Yes,
we did not see anything of that sort happening.
and
So
I can tell you that it will not happen because uh, if they talk, they will obviously lie, and it will be obvious. So the best for the government is, I mean, they should talk. Of course, they should be transparent because the citizens have the right to know what's going on. If their privacy is being not um, if they are violating the privacy of the people should know that. But the truth is that they will never admit any guilt, and they will give any stupid excuse, or they will just not answer anything.
yep,
Hello, Pepin.
yep. Hi,
Hel- Pepin, Pepin, meet my friend from India. Pepin is a friend also that works in cybersecurity.
hi, Pippin. Nice to meet you. Where are you?
Um, Hold on, I think I will. Do you want to speak, Pepin? You're not forced to speak, but if you want, okay, I am approving you. Okay, he's not going to be able to speak.
Okay.
What's up, Pepin?
Yeah, sorry, I have my microphone muted. So, hello, okay, hello, Alberto. I'm from Czech Republic, and nice to meet you, everybody.
Yeah, we were talking about politics and Pegasus in India, and I was telling him that actually what's happening there is just the tip of the iceberg, that it happens in every government, and the strategy is just minimize the situation, try to disaccredit the source, and then just silence. That's the strategy that all the governments use. Hello, Amy, welcome. I don't know if you have used the spaces before. This is not a space I told you about. I would like to create something prepared for talking about legal issues. Well, we were talking just about Pegasus and politics, so it's kind of related to what I told you in the direct message. Would you like to speak, Amy? I will give you a microphone. Um, it's a topic that sadly happens everywhere. The part of government and espionage and violating the rights of the citizens, which is very sad. Hello, Mari. Hello, everybody. Uh, s- so, Pepin, tell me, in your country, uh, did they talk about Pegasus?
I don't think so that we are talking about this issue because we have different issues with our premier, which is one of our most wealthy people. So we have different issues. But I think that there will be some new information regarding Pegasus in our country as well.
Your country was included in the list of countries that bought the solution from NSO.
I don't think so. I haven't seen any list.
Okay, yeah, no, mainly it was India and Mexico, the countries that were most affected in terms of exposure. Uh, but there were like 50,000 telephone numbers in a list that were supposed to some in any in some way related to that, which is something crazy, but that's a reality. I mean, the NSO doesn't sell the software only to governments. They sell the software to anybody who is able to pay for it. So it's all about money, power, control. That's what I think. Hello, Shash. How are you, Shash? If you'd like to speak, just request the microphone. And Pepin, yeah, it's also nice for the government when they have other issues to distract the attention of the people. I mean, whenever there is a problem, you have to ask yourself what bigger problem is being used is being hidden behind the problems they are treating. Because whenever there is a big problem, they create a smaller problem to focus to distract the eyes of the people.
You're absolutely right because just now there are so many issues with regarding our premiere. So as you said, there will be something more dangerous than these small issues.
How, how's censorship in your country?
I think we are quite democratic state, so the censorship is not so so restricted. But in reality, I think that there will be some that we cannot see.
Yeah, well, here also in terms of politics, we have a healthy democracy, to call it some way, which means uh, an accepted corruption and accepted behavior that uh, is I mean, democracy, government power, it all comes with corruption. That's something that is for granted, and it's part of the cost of democracy. I mean, I am not about. I don't have any position about any system, but corruption is just a part of of every system, and well, despite that, here in Uruguay there is no censorship, but um, in terms of privacy and surveillance, the government is abusing of the technology to to monitor the certain people's activity without a search warrant, an authorization from a judge, and that's something that for me is it's unacceptable. That that is something that I can't believe it's happening. I mean, if somebody is being investigated because any suspicious of any criminal activity, a judge should sign an order to allow the monitoring of that person. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that, but I completely disagree with those activities being performed by the police without the signature of a judge allowing that. Great, great. No, Pepin, we should create another space and charge like the one that we made regarding other issues about cybersecurity. What do you think? By the way, the one that we created, it's online on Spotify, iTunes, uh, and all the major platforms of podcast. The recording is available there. So I don't know if I have sent you the link or not to have access to the recording of that space.
Sorry if you're just talking to me. I have a phone call, so I was out of my mind, out of the Twitter Spaces. So is this the link regarding the session we had?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Pepin, but there was some background noise, and I couldn't listen to what you say.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Uh, just now I was at some meeting. So which link you are talking about?
Well, actually, I sent another message to Amy, who is here, to talk about security and laws protecting. I mean, the laws that are out there regarding cybercrime, cyberbullying, cyber harassment, stalking, porn revenge, and those things, and how the laws are being used in those cases, because I see a problem worldwide regarding that. Law enforcement is not, from my point of view, and from what I have heard from so many people, is not able to cope with those problems for regular citizens. And I would just like to have a discussion about that. And well, somebody with a background in legal issues such as Amy would be really useful for that. Hello, Amy. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, well, first of all, when we are talking about laws and rights, we have to acknowledge the very salient and relevant fact that enforcement is never going to be uniform. It is not going to be a just or even right in its way. Like, for example, Vahinas, pick a law that was German, by the way. You pick any law. Okay, drug enforcement here in the United States, if you have a large house, you are just having a bad day and, the police go away. But if you are poor, well, there's criminal enforcement in jail for you. So when we are looking at cyber stalking and bullying on the internet as well as revenge porn, we are not going to have even enforcement. And when we bellow and cry for more laws, all we are doing is attracting to the police more power to oppress impoverished people, to go after people who are stupid in essence. So we have our upskirt, a ban on cameras looking up into the skirts of a woman. Well, I oppose that because you can claim this thing if you're doing basic photography and accidentally catch someone. So when we are looking at the legal aspects of cyberbullying, we have to unfortunately look at how it's going to be abused, not how it's going to be actually used. So, with respect for this, it is more on the social. Um, if someone can have evidence and they go forth on a social level, for example, I destroyed a judge here in Cobb County for her unjust rulings on a social level. She's no longer in the fight for Superior Court bench. Well, the laws, we cannot enforce any of them against our judges, and that is here in the United States. We have a problem with police officers raping people and abusing people in every way possible. And they can do this for 20 years and nothing will get done. So, we talk about laws and enforcement. It's not real. It's only as real as the state wants to allow you such. So, really, our success in fighting this thing is on a social level where people turn their backs and refuse to do business. So that's my thought on cyberbullying and laws.
That's a very interesting position. Yes, I mean, here, if you're a victim of any of those crimes, unless you are somebody that is a person that is notorious or famous or somebody that plays an important role in society, let's call it a politician. Um, if you're not one of them, they will not do anything. And actually, being a victim of cyberbullying, porn revenge, or something like that, I think it's kind of very traumatic to the victim. And going to the police and feel for that is actually something that psychologically must be very hard for the person. And unfortunately, I know that the police will not do anything, but that person will actually expose more about that trauma that was caused by that situation. And that is really sad. And as you said, if you are pure, forget about it. I have to say, don't go to the police, because you will just waste your time and it will get worse for you. That's very sad. That must be changed.
Well, and here is something about that. The way to resolve that issue, and I did crisis counseling, um, talking people out of suicide, talking people out of this anguish and grief. And so I have a lot of experience with those feelings and dealing with people experiencing those feelings. Sorry, my tea went down the wrong hole. So the quickest way is to make it not stigmatized. It is to bring it out into the public with just flyers pasted up, links to websites about what it is like, and invite people to support victims. That victims need support. This is how women who have been raped are now able to speak out. This is how I, as a victim of the criminal justice system here, I was charged with the worst crimes imaginable. I mean, you wouldn't think, if you take your dog to the vet, you're going to get charged with felony animal cruelty. But, the police had it out for me because I was, essentially still am, a dissenter, a protester. So there was payback. And I had to overcome these same feelings and bring it out into the public and explain to people, this happens to innocent people. And this is when you gather cases, and this is when you publish online a short, easy link for anyone in the public to go see how real, how traumatizing it is, and you gradually bring people into the light of understanding so that people do not fear speaking up. And then you will see major changes.
Well, you're completely 100% aligned with my strategy. I mean, uh, you heard my story. I mean, I know you're completely aware of my situation, of what happened to me, and what I am doing is basically here. I am fighting against something that is a wall, that is powerful, that is so corrupt, and they have they can do whatever they want. They can make decisions completely without any justification. They can do anything. So my strategy is speaking. I mean, when you see a problem in a system, when you see visualize that there are flaws in something like the legal system, what do you do to change that? I think that what you do is talk about it, because talking about it creates awareness. And if you don't talk about the topic and you don't create awareness, there is actually no problem. So people should be aware, should know what's going on in order to trigger a change, because otherwise, if you don't speak, there is no problem to solve. So I am talking about my situation everywhere in the world. In every magazine, I am able to express my situation. I have written a book. I speak in any podcast I'm invited to. Uh, I am talking everywhere about my situation. So um, that is the only way that I think things can improve, and nobody else has to suffer things like I had to suffer. And I am very lucky that I am being able to do that, because I couldn't imagine living a hell like I did and having to keep that to yourself, not being able to express yourself, to say all the things you have to say. Uh, I mean, speaking for me, I 100% agree with you. People should not be afraid and should go and talk, speak. Last Thursday, I hosted a space that was about security in social networks, and I have a person named Samantha from the United Kingdom, and she was a victim of hacking, where her life was exposed, her children were exposed, information about her children is on the dark web published. Uh, she Private pictures of her were published on the internet. Her life was destroyed, and she accepted the invitation that I made to her to speak. So she was in the space speaking about what happened to her and the consequences. So that was very courageous from her, because I asked five women that I know were victims of things like that, and none of them wanted to talk about that in public, but this woman accepted. So the more people that speaks about that, because they are full. I mean, the victims. I can't imagine how many people are being victims of that, and we don't know because they just don't speak. They just don't speak, and they should speak. As you say, hello, Nana. Nana is a friend from Ghana, and he hosted the space I am talking about with Samantha. So Amy, what you said is something that I completely agree, and I think it's the way, because what else can we do? We cannot fight against the system. We have to to talk and let the things happen naturally. Let's put it some way.
Okay, well, I have another point. Okay, when we speak, we govern, we become the state when we speak. We are the state when we speak. If you look at diplomacy, there's first level, first tier diplomacy. That is a head of state. The second tier are the representatives, such as consul. The third tier of diplomacy, per the United States official policy, is handshake diplomacy. And that being every citizen, every human being governs. When their opinion hits, they plant a seed. And when they speak, other people will hear. They may not react. They may think about it. A lot of people, it just kind of sits back in the back of their brain. And then just like the Arab Spring, I was involved in the extension of that. I was a leader in Occupy Atlanta. Yes, we seized a whole park land. We straight up took land from the government, owned it for a period of time, and flipped off the cops and said, "Too bad. We declare this our space," and the government could do nothing because there were thousands of us protesting. And the reality is, when you speak, you govern. So you're not going against any system, you become the new system when you speak. And that is what government fears. That is what people, okay, government is like cockroaches. They thrive, they live off of the darkness and silence. And to bring light and truth through love and understanding and empathy and art, especially art, is critical. A cartoon, I tell you what, I've drawn in 1 minute a cartoon and ended up in 3 newspapers because of my cartoon. It was tax dollars flowing into a toilet in protest of our new stadium here. And I tell you what, a simple cartoon rallied people. When you make it so simple that anybody can understand, and when you finally change the hearts and the minds of the people, that is when you govern. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Well, more than 2 cents is like $100, Amy. Uh, yeah, here it's an interesting situation. The media basically destroyed me when I was arrested. They basically painted me as the worst cyber criminal, cyber terrorist in the world. They basically showed me as a trophy, showing the media how good they were to investigate and solve a case related to computer crimes. But for example, they chased all my equipment, like 6 laptops, 3 printers, 20 hard disk drives, a mask of Anonymous, and they put it all on a table. Well, like 10 cellulars, credit cards. Well, they put them all on a table. They took beautiful pictures and they released a press release with all information that was false, information that was not complete, that made what that was important situation, that information that was not told completely, and alter information. But then the judge had to. I had the luck to be able to have a very good lawyer, and he was able to get me all my stuff returned. But the judge had to sign the order to get me all my equipment back, and well, that never appears on the media. I mean, for the records, I am still the cyber criminal that was carding, that was hacking banks, because they say that. They say that I was hacking banks, that I was cloning credit cards. And that was said by the police. Not, I mean, before any process or no, I was found by the police. I was guilty before entering court, and then when they had to return me everything, the only thing remaining are those pictures from the press release. But nobody bothered to say, okay, he was not carding. There was no evidence of cloning credit cards. There was no evidence of hacking banks. And they all the major journalists here know my case, and they once interviewed me here for a TV show in my house for 2 hours, and I was talking about all the flaws in the process. And after a week, they were going to air it, and the show was never broadcasted on TV. So I contacted the producer and asked her what happened, and she told me that they didn't release the interview and the program on that because they were unable to contact to get anyone in the police to answer to all the points that I mentioned regarding the investigation. Nobody in the police wanted to talk about my case. Uh, Before they arrested me, they didn't make a profile of me. They didn't know who I was. I have experience in computer forensics. I mean, 20 years ago, I did my first computer forensics analysis for a criminal cause related to child pornography. So I basically could, well, I will give you a copy of my book. Uh, all the things that they did wrong in the United States or any normal country, there was no case. I mean, it was ridiculous, and it the frustration that here in the media nobody covers what happened after the arrest and what's the situation now. It's like, fuck, they do want to not talk about this because this is such a small country that, I mean, there's so much power that doesn't want to be exposed. But well, it's not Uruguay that has 3 million people. I have the word to talk about it, so I'm using the word to spread the message and tell my story, the things that were never told. So basically, that is a relief for me. So sorry for this, but fuck Uruguay. I'm not talking in Uruguay anymore if they are not going to put attention to me or cover my story. Fuck Uruguay. I'm talking in the world about this. Nana? Yes, yes, Amy, sorry. Go
Uh,
ahead, Amy.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. They're going to lie because their reputation is on the line. Okay, there's no way of going about it. With the media, there is almost a formal system of embargo, which is a ban on sharing information. So what happens is the police literally say, we are going to cut you off from the information that you need to make your money. First off, that's how they are strangled. Okay, they are strangled into silence. So this is why we, the people, have to have our own press, our own media. The people need to control the media themselves. Even if it's a small country. Listen, I went up against the largest entities in America, Bank of America. No media person would cover the fraud that was going on. So I just did it myself. I lost my job for it. Okay. But it was worth it because in the end, I managed to force Bank of America to modify millions and millions of dollars in home loans instead of foreclosing. Through the White House. Yes, I pressed all the way up to the federal government. I got there. And then when police lied, they had special weapons and tactics teams that are like armies. They are an occupying army here in America. They sent those people to my door twice. No media person would cover because of the embargo system. But I said, screw that, and went online and became my own media. I went to protests and encouraged people to protest. I went to jail for the right to speak. And because of what I did, people were, for the first time, protesting for civil rights where I live. It never happened. Lawyers would tell me, over 2 dozen attorneys told me it was illegal to question the legitimacy of false charges from police in public, that it was illegal to curse in public. And I alone had to go and do my own legal research until I found actual law professors. It took me 5 months. And then when I had 8 false charges, 4 felonies, 4 misdemeanors, facing 17 years in prison on complete lies by the police. My attorney who was a public defender, could not do the work. I did the legal research that brought my case into the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Yes, folks, the highest court in this nation. We cannot rely on people who are strung up and hung if they take a small person's point of view. So it's up to the individual to reach out, be the media, and partner up and beat the media in their own game. Because otherwise we will all separated and die. So it's time to take a stand.
Yes, yes. And what you are saying, when I was interviewed for the TV show regarding my case, the thing is that I mentioned so many things that were done, well, illegalities, because they committed a lot of things that were illegal. Just an example, the search warrant was, the scope was the seizure of electronic media. Uh, they seized uh, a mask, they seized uh, books, they seized uh, 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 they said my luggage because they didn't bring any boxes to carry the things to say. I mean, they didn't have anti-static bags to put the hard disk drive or the media inside. They took a keychain. They took so many things that were not a part of the scope of the search warrant, that to begin with. And well, and that the record of seizure, it's like a paper that is to laugh or to cry. They said many hard disk drives, many pen drives. Imagine how the hell, I mean, put a serial number of everything, tag every part of the things that you say, do a hash and guarantee the integrity of the information. For the cellulars, I after being said, I look up Google location, and one of my cellulars appeared turned on for 5 days in the headquarters of the police. Fuck, the cellular phones cannot be connected to any network after being seized because, first of all, they are contaminating the evidence, and second, the information can be wiped remotely can be altered. They can, for example, place pornographic pornographic material in my media, in my cell phones, anywhere, and I don't have any warranty because they.
Correct. They do that. They lie. They will plant evidence. You cannot trust anything with a badge. You cannot trust anything at all.
No,
and
go ahead. Go
okay,
ahead.
so here it is. You have your knowledge, and what you need to do also is to build a kit for criminal defense for people who are wrongly accused. And I am a software engineer, aka a hacker, and I am building software to track cases in our system for to find taint. And clearly, what you have is endemic systemic ineptitude, stupidity. They don't care because they have no repercussions. So if any new laws or new effort is to be put forth, we need to find the other people who are affected. We need to find as many people who are innocent and have been harmed and say, hey, here's a solution. Let's push for justice. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for what you went through. You know, we cannot trust anything, any person. I have cameras on my house now because every car I got mysteriously died shortly after I obtained it. Only after the cameras came up, my cars, well, wow, they work now. So you literally cannot trust people not to harm. And we have to build a culture of understanding and defense. And until we get the art, until it goes into the common discussions of people, justice will not be had. And this is what Arab Spring was about. One man like you who suffered. His scales to weigh his fruit and vegetables was taken. He tried to go to the governor of his province and was denied, so he walked outside and set himself on fire. And then the whole country was set on fire with rage because he was an every man. He was a man like every other man. So we have to be more public. We have to be so public that it's stupid for them to retaliate. We know they're going to lie. So it's time to just put it out in public. Yeah, they lie. It's time to put it out in public. Yeah, they falsify evidence.
Yes,
So protect yourself.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I sorry to interrupt you. The fact that I mean, when they interview me, was never aired that show. They didn't. Nobody in police answer any question. They refused. That is a good answer. That not answering because they had the option of lying, but it was so huge and obvious the mistakes that I pointed out, or the things that they did incorrectly that basically frame me. That they if they lied, they would even be more exposed. So the decision of them was not to answer any question because answering anything answering with a lie would only expose them more. Uh, so yeah, I feel like nobody should live where I had to live. I'm sorry for those that may have lived situations like this, and I mean everybody knows about my case here, but I don't know the cases of any other people that live like this because people do not speak, and I want to reach those people. And the thing is that I feel that I have to do something because probably other people do not have the not to brag the skills in order to know that the things that they were I mean they were probably investigated, prosecuted with false evidence, with lies, with anything, but they probably didn't have access to a good lawyer. They didn't have the knowledge to identify all the things that they had the right to have, and they weren't granted. I mean, imagine this, Amy. Uh, I wasn't granted a basic right, which is ask for a third independent party to review the process of recollecting the evidence of the server where the supposed mail I was accused of sending was received. That's something that is the drug dealers, when they get arrested, the drugs are being seized and stored because the rule number one of evidence is preserve evidence. That's the basic rule. That's the right that the drug dealers have that right, and they can ask for an analysis of the substances from a third party because here the time in prison spent for cocaine, for example, is different from the time if you are dealing with crack cocaine. Crack cocaine has much larger sentences than cocaine, but Uruguay doesn't have the chemicals to distinguish cocaine from crack cocaine. So I met a person in prison who was in prison for dealing in drugs, and he was charged for crack cocaine, but he appealed and the cocaine was safe stored so they could analyze it again. And yeah, it couldn't say that it was crack cocaine because they didn't have the equipment to prove that it was crack cocaine, so his sentence was reduced. I wasn't granted the right to act to have somebody else to review the process. I mean, all the process should have been documented step by step, and another party should repeat the same process and should arrive to the same conclusion they initially arrive. If they do the same they did initially and the results are different, then we have a problem. But not being able to having granted that possibility, it's just to begin with, it's something that makes all the process fuck it up from the start. I mean, my rights were not. I mean, as you said, they are incompetent, they are stupid, and unfortunately, they have the power of doing everything they want wrong and no consequences of them. But in my case, the civil actions against them are something that I'm doing without any doubt. I mean, my hands won't shake when I have to sign those civil actions that are going to be taken. But I have to wait until the criminal process is over to take civil actions. At least that's in Uruguay the way the system works. But yeah, I feel I am the one who has to move. I cannot stay and do nothing after this. I have to do something. I mean, there's no other option for me. I mean, I feel the responsibility to 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 shout out the things that are happening and let everybody knows the problem that we have, because nobody else should suffer what I did.
Well, and there's actually a technique that we used in Occupy Atlanta to recruit literally tens of thousands of people to our cause. And one way to very quickly gain allies is to look at the entirety of the situation and identify the most common causes people have for grief. Okay, for us in Atlanta, yes, I had my case. Yes, I had my problems with corrupt police. But what was the biggest problem that people had? Well, that was losing their homes to foreclosure. And it's not related, but when you cluster causes like a flower, like petals around a flower, you have several causes and you become a central force for good, and you identify a variety of grievances that people have. You can then add yours in and people will go, oh my gosh, it really is deep. Thank you for supporting my cause, and then they will support yours as well. So recruitment regarding common causes is a very good way to get people to realize that there are other causes and everyone needs to network and become a force for good. And when that happens, the people take over and the people become government. And the only way government can survive is to address the common causes. Because without force, power will not give anything. Power comes at the barrel of a gun. Power comes at the barrel of a dollar. So when you identify the financial impact of a common cause for grief being acted on, okay, who is benefiting financially? Is there a way to compete with that? Is there a way to strip money away from what is causing harm to people? So you have to look at the entire picture from a social standpoint, from a common cause standpoint, so you can sideline your own cause in there. but everybody gets the benefit through the whole network. And when you can identify pain points, that being different ways to harm people politically, how is it that people come to be elected to office? How is it that people come into money? You have to really know the whole system, so you can just take a machete and just go have a good fun fest with these people. Not physically, but in a political sense, in a monetary sense. And what we did in Occupy was we took our occupations and tallied up what we do for money, and we hired only the people within the group. And our money stayed in the group. And the common causes that we identified and supported ended up benefiting those with not so common causes. Because then other people with the common cause would come around and support those with uncommon causes. So political action has to incorporate an analysis of how the entire system works, of how the healthcare system works, of how the medical, how money, how jobs, how politics, the whole system must be looked at. Otherwise, you're just going to short yourself out, because the way powerful people control the people at large, to control the population, is done systemically and thoroughly. So it's up to the people to join together for common reasons and then tack on the uncommon causes. So we want the whole enchilada. And that can garner a lot of support. So that's my 2 cents on that.
It's $100, not 2 cents. Yeah, and I think in my case, I lack of that approach of the whole picture regarding the social aspect of this, because of, I mean, of my education. I mean, I wasn't able to have that approach. I lack probably of the skills of not seeing the whole image, but to approaching the situation the way you're telling me. But yeah, it's absolutely true. I really understand your strategy, and it's completely smart, and there's no other way I can imagine to do it. So Amy, Nana is from Ghana. He's in computer security also, and I would like to ask Nana, how are you, and what's the situation regarding computer crimes in your country?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. It's raining out here, and I don't know whether you can hear me clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Regarding computer security in my country here, that is Ghana, is a bit similar, slightly similar, but I don't know much about him. I know almost everything about Alberto's country, but from my end here, when I've never seen any computer forensics around in the police department, and most guys in the security sector, let's say the police, cannot even turn on their Bluetooth. That is another street, because they lack the skills, and is the likelihood for me to experience a similar thing as you guys did, as Alberto did, because sometimes I find security bugs in most of the company systems, and I find it difficult to report, because if I do so, the person in charge wouldn't have much of the skills as I expect, and might tend to tag me as a criminal. So I tend to stay in my shell without causing any, I mean, trouble. And from here to, I don't think they even have the necessary, I mean, skill and requirements to do computer crime forensics. All they have to do is just pick up your phone and just see something, I mean, some weird SMS or some, I mean, places that any actual person or normal person with a less computer knowledge will attend on your phone or your computer when you are convicted of a cyber crime. So basically, my hand here is nothing. There's nothing good to speak about when it comes to computer. I mean, crime. There are a lot of guys out here doing weird stuff with the details of others who are yet not criminalized because I mean the government have their own way of also, I don't know, but I have a conspiracy theory that government also have another way of benefiting politically out of what these guys are doing. So I wouldn't say they are in support, but some people are in the government that I think would would be on the side of the evil stuff, right? So if you tend to show up like a knight in a shining armor, literally trying to save the day, you end up being in the same position like Alberto did, which is likely to happen. So that is the little that I can share from my end here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And one thing in common is the incompetence of law enforcement everywhere in the world. And well, was covered in the CC conference, the Chaos conference in Germany in 2019. That Linus Neumann, who is one of the most famous hackers in Germany, that forced the government to change the electronic system to vote because he found that this was vulnerable to be altered. He covered my case in the Congress, and the title of that talk was "Don't underestimate the stupidity of law enforcement." And he made basically fun of all the things that the police did. I mean, the people in the Congress was laughing when he showed all the things that were done in a stupid way. And well, law enforcement is stupid, and uh, I don't know. It's so frustrating many times. I would like to say hi to Brian and everybody new. Brian, he is in the United States, but he was born in Colombia, if I'm not wrong. Brian, if you want to speak, we're talking about cybersecurity and laws and prosecution and the investigations of computer-related crimes. I don't know if you would like to say something about. Well, you live 8 years in Colombia. You probably don't know how the reality is right now, but I think I was talking in a space from people from Colombia about cybersecurity, and they're basically they have the same problems we have in Uruguay, um, but I don't think anywhere in the world is it makes our better. So I don't know. So Amy, okay, I have the request from. Okay, so Nana, I was talking to Amy. I was thinking about creating a space, preparing a space to touch these topics because I think I want to keep talking about them. They won't shut me up. I mean, when I start talking about this, they have to tell me to shut up because I can speak for hours. And well, Amy, what do you think? I mean, we can create a space and talk about this. We can prepare something. We can promote it here. I have a lot of people in the community of spaces that. Will really promote it a lot so we can have a great audience, and everything I do I record it for posting it as a podcast episode so people can access to it as a podcast after the event. So what do you think about that, Amy?
Okay, that's actually a fantastic idea. The best part of it is to have a stable source of information, a something that sticks around long term so that people will find it. If you do just pop up spaces, people will not find it. It will be gone. Okay, so the most successful folks who do this thing are the people who have a long-term website dedicated to it, with a dedicated podcast, with supporters who are sharing, and because I've dealt with media for so long, it's not even funny. I mean, over 25 years, easily. So the way to garner large support is to have something, a website, have podcasts, have short segments of audio and video called they call them bites, sound bites, that you can post on Twitter and other social media platforms to bait the hook and get people interested in more information. And when you have a website, you have articles, you have blog posts on it. So it is a sustained effort. It is a long-term effort that has to be made if you want to be effective. Because longevity is a feature of institutions, i.e., governments. Okay, so the reason why governments are around in hanging out and doing corrupt things and lying and stealing from people is because guess what? They have a cash flow. Guess what? They've been around so long that people get worn out and are afraid, and just they can't even fight back because it's too expensive to even think when you're fighting for survival. So when you fill people's stomachs, when you provide a means for people to help themselves out of a sticky situation on the side of that, they're going to go, all right, we're going to stick around with this guy. All right, we're going to stick around with this institution. You become your own institution when you put your own website, your own hosting that's outside of other people's control. But folks can come in at any time and see what's going on. That is a brilliant idea, and that is how exactly the CIA kills governments in other countries. This is how governments are overthrown, is institutions are built, institutions are created, and the people are made aware of systemic endemic issues that are common. So if the most powerful intelligence agency in the entire world does this thing, well, guess what? The people need to do it too. And as far as the Ghana issue goes, that is a very important issue. When a country does not even have the technology at hand, well, I can guarantee one way that it will change if they ever tick off the United States or ever have a resource that the United States wants to steal or poach. You bet that's going to change. Your situation is going to change. And the reality is, Ghana is not going to change until the people can realize benefits and reap benefits from knowing and using this technology. Okay, take cryptocurrency. My boss told me, ha ha ha, oh, that's such bunk. Well, I pointed outside. I said, come out here. Can I show you something? And I said, certainly. He said, certainly. So we went out and we looked at my brand new 2007 Jeep Grand Cherokee that I bought with cryptocurrency. And that man's jaw dropped. Well, it's the same way with technology. It's the same way with cybersecurity. It is the same way with encryption. If the people can find a way to cash in, or if they see a benefit then they will adopt the technology and the government will follow. So this is why we need an independent long-term space for people to realize the benefits of getting involved, for people to realize how quickly they can make money off of this. So when we can benefit the people at large, we cover. That's my 2 cents. Or $100, your choice.
No, that now is $200, and I have to tell you, initially the name um, of the investigation was called Operation Bitcoins. That was the name the Interpol gave to that investigation. I bought the domain operationbitcoins.com, and I posted there all the documents scanned from the file, pointed out all the irregularities, illegalities, all the stupidity, all the things that he said, all the lies. With the reference, with the pages from the file that uh, were the support of my statements, and I had the will to create a foundation to help other people, victims of this. Uh, given, I mean, I once posted that I was willing to help anybody for free, giving them technical advice in if there were victims of a case like mine, creating a foundation called Operation Bitcoins, using the name the police used for this show that they make, because it was a show for the media, for them. Uh, so, yeah. I have a lot of material published out there on Twitter. I publish from time to time pages from the file, pointing out the problems, and I ask my followers to retweet that with tagging the general prosecution of Uruguay and the CERT of Uruguay. So they are tagged in the post where I put information from the file that is stupid, ridiculous, or false. Uh, well, yeah, I have to surely to maintain that in time, to have persistence in the information, to make it available all the time. I mean, not just an event such as space, but I try to collect as much information as possible. I am generated content regularly, because the process is not over, and I almost know the file that is 1,000 pages like the back of my hand, but whenever I read it, I find more things that are wrong, and well, I just I mean, I don't let this thing vanish. I mean, I want to keep the fire burning, and don't let them win with the strategy of, with time everything will be forgotten, nobody will remember this. No, everybody should remember this every day. So this every week. So at least 2, 3, 4 times a week, a month. Sorry, I post something specifically related to my case, tagging the prosecution office of Uruguay and the CERT of my country, so they are aware that I do not forgive. I won't say I do not forget, because they will link me to Anonymous, and they might consider that a crime for the stupidity. But yeah, I completely again agree with you, Amy. Uh, that's wonderful. Yeah, hello, Sim. I don't have my glasses. Sim, I will call you his.
Oh
Welcome.
yeah,
Do you want to say? Yeah,
symbiotic
hello.
asymmetry. Yeah, my name is Danny Salerno. That's my other handle. I just wanted to extend out a hello to Brian and any other Colombianos out there. I know the strife and the battle and everything else that even us technologists, tech enthusiasts are going through. I think one of the ways that we can eradicate that is by unity, uh, by avoiding dissonance. And I agree with Alberto that one of the most important things profoundly for all of us is even when someone cites the word hacker, they think of it in such a disingenuous manner. I mean, we have white hats, black hats, gray hats, whatever hat you want to be. I think the most important part of it all is that we as hackers, all of us, and when I say hacker, I don't mean the hacker like you're gonna hack a system. I'm talking about as an ethical person who's curious to look about below the cover of anything, and see exactly what the essence of the true being is of logic and analytics. And I think the most important part is all of us not to be dissuaded to actually say that we have to hide, because not even say rise up. I think this is the point where, at least this point in history, that we can say that we're utilizing our skill set for something greater than ourselves, for our movement that's beyond just understanding. It's for us to spread the truth for others, so that they know that the lies that they see forth in front of us is not going to be taken for granted anymore, and we're not going to stand for it. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you, Alberto.
Okay, you're absolutely right. And here is, you pointed out something that is absolutely critical. Okay, you didn't even realize that you pointed it out. Okay, when you use the word hacker, you need to show a mechanic looking under the hood of a car and blast that. Because when we control language, when we usurp, that means to take control of something controlled by someone else. When we usurp language that authorities try to use to oppress people, that is when we can build in the common cause. So, Operation Bitcoins, okay, it goes so far beyond just cybersecurity. We are looking at economic strength of the people. Okay, banks do not control wallets. All right, so ATM outages, well, too bad. I've got money when I've got crypto, and I can spend my money. I can spend my crypto. You know what? Nobody can tell me I can't spend my crypto, because there's no bank that controls my crypto. So when you involve the people and show them how quickly they can get paid for their work with cryptocurrency, when you involve the people and show them how easily someone can hire a person for a task, you know, build up a help board, build up technical support for the everyday person through Operation Bitcoins. Because Operation Bitcoins involves every aspect of life there ever was to be involved. Otherwise, it's just something people are going to look over. So when you look under the hood, okay, when you show a mechanic, how many mechanics are getting paid in cryptocurrency? How many stores are accepting cryptocurrency? How many individuals are accepting cryptocurrency? I've been paid in cryptocurrency, thousands of dollars, okay? And instantly I can go and get what I need. You can't do that with bank money. So when you show people how powerful they are when they are involved in cryptocurrency, how free they are, when you show people enjoying liberty and freedom and prosperity, then you will get broad-based support. So yes, let's show a mechanic servicing a car. That's what a hacker is. I'm a hacker. I build software. Okay? Anybody who is a doctor is a hacker of the human body. So when we look at how people who got millions of dollars for their businesses by saying, we disrupt this industry. Well, let's take control of language, people. Let's take that language. Let's disrupt the government. Let's disrupt the hatred and the oppression by showing people with love and empathy how they can benefit financially, how they can benefit with security. And when we do that, hey, people will click on over to see about cyber security and police ineptitude. And they will realize how important it is to support technology, how important it is to force government to change. Well, that's my $200.
I know, I agree with you, Amy, because how the hell are we going to advance as a human or a living organismic society is if we continue to hold ourselves back through the same systems that actually put us in place? There's no way that we can advance even as a civilization if we continue to beget ourselves with political correctness and all of the other, shenanigans that go along with it. For me, I, for one, specifically believe in that governments, um, the unfairness doctrine of media, allows themselves to indoctrinate others by a system that is hold in place, designed to hold people back simply by saying, if you're Julian Assange, we're gonna implicate you in a crime that you did not commit. And on top of that, we're also going to say that we're going to character assassinate you. We're actually going to belittle you. And we're going to say that, oh, yeah, until the heavens fall. You know why? Because we're going to belittle you to the point where your variability and your efficacy as a person is down to zero. We're going to ruin your life. We're going to separate you from your family. We're going to make sure that nobody talks to you. We're going to make sure that everybody thinks you're bisexual. And you know what? We're also going to make sure that everybody else thinks that you're a fucking nobody and that your career is over. That's what we're going to make sure we're going to do. You know why? Because you're too fucking dangerous to the establishment. Fuck you. We're hackers. And you know what? We fucking deserve to be here. You know why? Because we're fucking tinkerers. We're designers. We're innovators. We're entrepreneurs. We're everything that we want to be. And we're going to be that. So fuck you if you don't want to fucking believe it. That's what I got to say to them.
We are actually outliers. We are people that do not fall into the average concept of. I mean, we are people that are think and act different than 99% of the society. I am an advocate of an organization that is called Hacking is Not a Crime. That it's growing in very, very quickly, and with the support, I think, as Sid was saying, it's not something that, I mean, I realized I cannot change the world myself, that I need to do it with the help of others in order to make the world better and change it and improve it. And yeah, I mean, we are hackers, and I want to hack the fucking system. I mean, I I have the knowledge to do that. Also, when it comes to examples of cryptocurrencies, I am somebody who has been working with cryptocurrencies for a long time. Actually, my case was surrounded by cryptocurrencies. Operation Bitcoins tells you everything. I mean, it was cryptocurrencies was wow. They didn't know what a cryptocurrency. I mean, when they were in my house, they asked me, "Where did you get the cryptocurrencies?" And I told them, I bought them from localbitcoin.com. And they shouted at me and told me, "Oh, don't lie to me. I know cryptocurrencies for 10 years." It was 2017. Cryptocurrencies were only 8 years old. The guy from Interpol knew cryptocurrencies before they were created. How stupid people they were behind this. I mean, that makes you laugh or cry, but you have to deal with that. And yeah, I completely agree. Fuck them. I mean, we all together have the power to make a change. And I have been told so many times, Alberto, why don't you use your knowledge to destroy them in a way that, I mean, you understand me, to destroy them with my as a cyber terrorist. I am not doing that. I'm not playing that game. I am not going to do anything illegal. I will use the system against them, the tools that I have, and the power of the people, and the power of the truth. And well, that's I think that's the way I should behave. And yeah, the only way to change the system is like that. We cannot keep living like this. We don't have to. We have to do something. I feel I have to do something, as I mentioned. I mean, I cannot stay and just shut up. No way. They won't shut me up. They first have to put a bullet in my head, and but they are not going to shut me up. And listen, I am aware that of the risk of doing what I am doing, because these people are able to do anything to stop anybody who is a threat for them. My communications, I know, I cannot say why, but I know that my activity on the internet, my emails, unless they're encrypted, are being monitored by the government because they consider me a threat. They consider me dangerous. Yeah, I am dangerous. I am dangerous. Yeah, but dangerous in a good way. I mean, knowledge is power, and I really want to expose them and show the truth behind all what happened in my case, which means the truth behind the system and how it is completely fucked up and it's not. I mean, justice for me is just a beautiful word. Justice doesn't, unfortunately, for me, exist in the real world. Uh, Justice depends on your race, your money, your power. I mean, that's justice in this world. When I am out, actually, because I was granted a bail of $10,000 that I had to pay to be released from prison. Fuck that. I mean, if my mother didn't have that money, I could still be in prison. And is that justice? I mean, if you are pure, you cannot pay a bail and you stay in prison. That's terrible. Imagine the frustration of knowing that if you had money, you could be out, but for being pure, that because that you are guilty of being pure, you cannot get out of prison. That is not justice. There is no justice. Justice is only a word in the dictionary for me.
Alberto, I have to be completely honest and say, you know what? I'm a victim of the same thing that Julian Assange is going through. I've been ostracized. I've been excommunicated. I've been victimized by something that I'm not. And all I can say is it's because I have a certain capability of doing something that others cannot. And let's just say like this, that I'm being ostracized as somebody like a mental patient. I'm being targeted and labeled as a sexuality that I'm not, which I obviously because I'm Roman Catholic. I'm being called all these different things, and these are things that I can just share with all of you, saying that I am who I say I am. I am Colombian, proud to fucking be it. Adopted by an Italian family, born in 1983, and I know who I fucking am, Danny Salerno. And you know what? Yeah, whatever the fuck you hear about me, it's all bullshit. And what I can tell you this right now is really simple is this is something that's been going on for years, for fucking years in the making. And I'm not even going to say any names. All I'm just going to say is thank you, United States government. Now everybody's going to know the fucking truth. There you go.
Thank you, thank you, Interpol from Uruguay, because they are listening to this, and I don't give a fuck about that. They will listen for me soon, and it's what Amy said. The strategy is to create bullshit around you, like they did with Assange. I mean, the charges of rape and all that. They try to destroy you in any way they can in order to destroy your credibility. Here I am, Alberto Daniel Hill. The picture that you see is the picture that's behind this cellular. All my information is out there. And the people really, really trust me. I mean, the signs of trust I have received are endless, and the support I receive are all the time. I get support from everywhere. I don't know if you know my story, Sis, that I was the first hacker in Uruguay who spent sent to prison for a computer-related crime. But yeah, that's the strategy. Destroy the enemy, saying that okay, he's a child abuser, he's gay. Fuck them. I am the person who I am, and I say the things that I want to say, and I think that I am telling the truth, and telling the truth is not a crime. Telling the truth is information. Stealing from my house like the police did with me, that is a crime. They committed crimes. Saying the truth is not a crime, but apparently it is here.
Well, and I've gone through a similar thing. They took my children. They still have my children, and I'm fighting for them back. They took my house. They took my dog. They took my husband. I literally lost everything and everyone I had ever loved. I lost my family. I lost most of my friends. I had to build a whole new life. I had to fight to keep my home. And I did. And you know what? Fuck the police. I'm still not sorry. And the reality is, we need to have this attitude. If you don't believe it, too bad. Next. Because for every disbeliever, surely somewhere in there, there's a believer. And we have to just say, screw you if you're going to oppose it, screw you if you're not going to believe us, because we are the bearers of truth. And you will find it. And you know what? I tell you what, it is rough being ostracized. It is very hard. I was unemployable for close to a decade for what they did to me. They lied. They smeared me too. They put me in the front page of the newspaper, called me a child abuser, called me an animal abuser. Those are the worst crimes ever here in the United States. I had death threats. I had people trying to run me off the road. It's a miracle I'm still here and alive. Okay, so to that, it's time to end the shame. It is time to link cryptocurrency, security, technology to every aspect of life. It is time to show people and help people benefit and profit from this. And when people have money in their pockets and when people have food in their stomachs and people can feed their children because you've helped them, that is when the government no longer matters because you are the government. So that's my $200.
No, 300 this time. And I one thing I didn't mention, just to finish with the stupidity of my case, the police said three bitcoins that were memorial. I mean, they were physical bitcoins representing bitcoins that those that are being sold in Amazon, and they took pictures of them because they thought that those coins were actually bitcoins. Can you believe that? I mean, they thought that those coins, physical, were the bitcoins, and they showed that in pictures, bragging that Operation Bitcoins, we captured the cyber criminal, and he had bitcoins that we seized. Oh, well, that was in the Congress I mentioned. Everybody laughing out loud because they were rolling, laughing. I mean, to that point, we are here that it's ridiculous. And yeah,
And that's how we know now how retarded people get jobs. Congratulations.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
and the thing is that I am also I support blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies with all my life because I hate the traditional financial system that is evil, that is really it really steals from people. I hate the financial system, the traditional financial system, and I want people to be able to do the things. I mean, we are under control more and more here in Uruguay. The laws regarding the use of electronic methods of payment are being so strict that so many things we are forced to do by electronic methods such as credit cards, debit cards, and that's only, I mean, to track people. Not, I mean, I'm not avoiding taxes, but I don't want the government to know if I spend the night with a prostitute in a motel. But if I pay with a credit card, they know that, and that's my private life. I as long as I don't hurt anybody, I am free to do whatever I want without having leaving any track to the government about my activities, the places I go, where I spend my money, how much money I spend. I'm not avoiding taxes. I just want privacy. It's my private life. They don't have to know that. And they are collecting all that information from me. I really, really hate that. And bitcoins and cryptocurrencies are the tool to the, destroy that third part, that part in the middle that is controlling the economy of the traditional financial system. Let's get out of them. We don't need them. I mean, the cryptocurrencies are the solution to that. Nobody can control or fiscalize anything with cryptocurrencies. It's something between two people. You and I agree to buy or sell cryptocurrencies at a certain price, and it's you and I, nobody else in the middle controlling anything. It's just I give you a cow, you give me a sheep. Uh, I mean, even though in laws they are trying to control that, good luck. It's like trying to put a law saying cocaine is illegal. Fuck, that is a paper. Okay, say it's illegal, but go ahead and stop the drug dealing. Uh, it can be stopped, not on a technological level. It cannot be stopped. They cannot track. Uh, they cannot block the traffic in the blockchain network. They cannot do anything, and people should be free to. I mean, it's the most vulnerable people are the ones that are most benefit from cryptocurrencies, because nowadays they are forced to use a financial system that basically takes them sooner or later to ruin, to take all the things that they have. And what you say, Amy, I also, Nana can say, I lost everything in my life except my mother, that I almost lost her with cancer last year, but I don't have a work. I lost all my money. I lost the love of my life because of this. She was tortured literally by the Interpol in a psychological way. She was destroyed. They told her that I confess and I said that she was the mastermind behind the crime. They told her that I was a drug abuser. They told her so many lies about me, that the pure girl that has the sweetest heart in the world, that is has no and nothing bad. I mean, she's the most innocent person that I know. She was destroyed, and until now, she has nightmares. She wakes up at night thinking that she's been arrested by the police. She is under treatment. I am under treatment. The price I had to pay was everything of my life. All I have is my knowledge and being alive, and my mother. I have lost almost everything. So I understand you completely. I mean, it's unfortunately a price that I see not only me had to pay for being in these situations, which really sucks. But that it happened the same to me. I lost everything.
You know, I was going to say, Alberto, the horrible part about all of it is that the same tactics that governments have used on dissidents of governments, or even leaders of governments, if you want to call them that, or figureheads, like Pol Pot or Allende or whoever you want to call them, that they overthrew. They used means of psychological abuse to mischaracterize, to character assassinate, to literally end the life of somebody, or even to destroy someone's career, you know, like a Julian Assange, like an Aaron Schwartz, you know, like all of those people, you know, and it's just, it sickens me now that it goes from just your average, you know, leader to like your average everyday citizen who has nothing to do with what's going on, you know, and does want a private life and doesn't want to be bothered by anybody because they're not doing anything. All they're doing is like downloading movies, video games, books, you know, or just playing video games or what the fuck else have you. And other people think because that person has a private life that there's something that they're hiding. There's nothing that they're hiding. And even if they are, it's none of your fucking business, dude. You know, it's none of your damn business how many fucking movies I download. It's none of any damn business how many fucking video games I fucking download. None of that shit's anyone's business. That's why I use a private VPN, you know? And it's like, I mean, I don't know too much about Bitcoin, to be honest with you. I mean, I was kind of on the fence about it initially, but as instead of being a tool for the government, I want to be able to assess and understand that, to understand how Bitcoin operates and things like that in terms of from a basis of encryption. But to be honest with you, I mean, I don't understand how people are just so willingly to give their private information away. It's almost like their entire lives. And then those who do not, others question and accuse them and objectify them to, oh, well, you must be a criminal, or oh, you must be this, or oh, you must be that. No, motherfucker, I'm not. I have my own fucking right to privacy just like you do. And you know what? If I want to, DDWRT my fucking router just to put a VPN on there, then I fucking will. I don't care. That's my fucking right. You have no right to tell me when and where I can't do or what I can't do. You know, you can't force me to be a different sexuality. Shit, if I fucking am promiscuous and I want to be with women, then I fucking will. You know, if I want to fucking meet Eliza Orleans, then I fucking will. I don't give a shit. That's my fucking problem.
Well, on
So
that,
speaking about
okay, you bring up,
go on.
okay, so you bring up a very salient point. You bring up a very relevant point here, and that is why privacy is important. Hey, I was literally investigated for 2 years because the police thought I was a drug dealer because I worked at a home, refused to allow police to inspect my home, and refused to substantiate my income source to police officers. Okay, so I understand the whole privacy aspect. And the reason why people are just vomiting their entire lives online is because there is a cultural shift towards that. And culture is what powers social action, which is how laws are created. All of law is derived of what? Oh, politics. And politics is derived of what? Culture. So when you have people who are led by the nose so easily into hating you because you don't fit in, that is a cultural problem. And when people benefit from the people that they were taught to fear, cognitive dissonance sets in, and then they start wondering, and then they start questioning, and then they start listening. And then they start stepping right alongside you. So this is a very battle I had to fight here in the United States. And here it is Orwellian. It is out of a horror movie how much control the police have. They can look up where you work. They can look up and see if you're on benefits. They can look up and instantly get so much information about people. And when I walk into Atlanta, that is the city of Atlanta, the capital of the state of Georgia where I live, instantly my face is captured by cameras, facial recognition kicks in, and the police are alerted that I am in the city. And this is what I encountered when I was protesting and became a leader in Occupy. I literally had police officers assigned to watch me, two of them, throughout the whole protest. So I am in a police state. The United States is a police state. Privacy is considered criminal here. And if you flex your rights, if you say, I have a right to privacy, they go 10 times as hard on you and will make things up and will lie to get you out of circulation. So to combat that, that's why I went public. That's why I went to political forums. I became the dominant political party. I signed up to be a card-carrying Republican because that is the party that dominates here. And I got involved in the political process and in the local lawmaking process, and then they could not mess with me. And then, when I step into courthouses, security takes a step back. So when you take control, you govern. So this is why we need to link to the common cause and provide benefits to the people at large. So power to the people.
$300 more, Amy. Here, the same. I went to the store at midnight to buy some things, and well, my face was captured by the cameras that are all over the city, and there are cameras that were installed for my security. Fuck my security. I want privacy. If I have to choose between privacy and security, give me privacy, motherfuckers. You don't have the right to film me, to know everywhere I go. That's my fucking life. I mean, I don't want to be part of a system where they know where I spend my money, how I spend my money, how much, and where I go. I mean, as you said, privacy is being seen as. But look at the Nest up there. I posted an image that it's very funny that says basically, why should I mind about privacy? Nothing to hide, nothing to lie. And then on the other side, agreed, which is why I'm leaking these government's files online. And then the state turns into, oh, you're a terrorist. Uh, that's that's so fucking funny. Yeah, the same is happening here with privacy. I mean, and people are not aware of that. That they know everything about you, and that gives them power because knowledge is power, and they know too much about us that they shouldn't know. They have no reason to know. They have no need to know. So leave me alone. Give me a break. It's my life. I don't feel I have freedom. I mean, freedom is also so relative. I live in a free country, but I don't feel free. I mean, in my particular case, I am not free. I'm being monitored 24/7, but the regular citizens are not aware of this, on how much power the government is taking, they're using, and that information. Uh, it my life belongs to me, and if like somebody knocks on my door, I have the right to let the person in or not. It's my house. The same with my life. It's my life. I have the right to give certain information or not. I'm not being forced to give information. That is not freedom. That is not fucking freedom.
That is really true. Looking at my government here, um, some few months ago, they got to realize most of the people have started using Bitcoin, investing in Bitcoin. So there's this, I mean, director general, like a CEO for this government sector called the Sector for Exchange Commission. He just came out without the knowledge about blockchain or Bitcoin, and he just started saying that the youth should stop investing in Bitcoin because they don't have a framework for it, and people should stop it until they start building a framework for it. And then someone literally asked him, "What is blockchain?" And he has no fucking idea about blockchain. And there's this guy from the government who came who came on the media, and he told people that um, young guys who, I mean, the youth who are below 30, who have big cars and big mansions, should be investigated because they don't know where they are getting them. What kind of, what do they have a problem with these someone's life? Because if you're not helping the person is investing in something, you just want to stick your nose into their business, and that is really bad. Like, that is really bad.
You know, I was going to say that too, that because that's something that um I actually had a fear about with Bitcoin, and I'll be honest with you, that's one of the reasons why I was on the fence about it, was just because of I didn't know exactly, anything about it, nothing. I mean, except for just the encryption piece. But I mean, you're right. The minute that they start investigating you, or wanting to know about your life, they want to know every single fucking facet about it. They want to know, who you're fucking, where you're going, what you're doing, who you're fucking pussy licking, every single fucking thing about you, man. And then the next fucking thing, it's like, holy shit, what's going on, And it's so fucking horrible, because then when the next thing you know, your life is posted everywhere, the media is talking about you. People are knowing things about your personal life that only you should fucking know about. What the fuck is going on? Then you start feeling like the item on the shelf at the store, and the only thing is you don't have a price tag on it. And that's sometimes what I feel like. It fucking sucks, dude. Maybe I don't want to be a conformist. Maybe I want to be an anti-conformist, just like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez. Maybe that's what I want to be like. Protest the actual ongoing rate of social conformity. Fuck conformity, man. Because I don't want to be like everybody else. You know who I want to be like? Me. Because nobody's like me. That's why. I don't want to be like my cousin, my best friend, or my ex-wife, or the guy who owns the store 3 doors down. I don't want to be like them, because there is already somebody like them. Why do I have to have carbon copies of myself? I don't need to have the real Marshall Mathers stand up. I'm gonna have myself stand up, because I'm gonna stand up for myself, who the fuck I am. But you know what? I also want my own being, my own existence, to stand up for a cause greater than myself. So at least I know that I'm helping everyone else out for something. That's what I'm fucking hoping for, man. At least I know that the day of my last dying breath, whatever year, hopefully years from now, it's going to be that I actually did something to help with the movement of rising everyone up for a fucking revolution, man. That's what we should fucking have.
Well,
And I
go ahead, Nana.
oh, go ahead.
No,
Okay. So
go.
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I
Sorry.
feel exactly the same. I think we have all in common that what we're doing is not for ourselves. It's in order to help others. I mean, I have lost everything. I cannot recover that. Even a lawsuit against the government, money won't bring me back the things that I lost for what the situation I had to live. I won't recover what I lost, but I can do things to prevent other people in the future to suffer what I had to live, because that is not fair. Nobody should live that. And I want to be remembered as I want to live it. I mean, you know what? When I started spreading my story in Dark Diaries, and now 400,000 people have heard my story there, and they send me messages. They tell me the first time a person sent me a message and told me, "Your story inspired me." And I thought to myself, wow, if I could inspire one person in this world, then maybe everything I suffered was worth it. I mean, that was something that really touched me. And that was the first message. But then I started receiving more and more messages saying how inspiring my story was. And wow, inspiring people in order to pursue their dreams. It's something beautiful, and I want to do that, and I want to fucking change the fucking system that is so against the people. I want to make a change. Yeah, Nana, sorry for interrupting.
Oh, I was just going to say a little about, I mean, top up what these guys are doing. You see, the motive behind my government here about investigating people who are below the age of 30 if they own big houses and cars is because they build their career on lies, right? And they feel like they were able to make it, I mean, achieve a lot with their lives at their late 50s and their late 40s. And they feel like you shouldn't achieve the best of yourself at this early stage. But forgetting the fact that we live in a technological world, like people have, I mean, advanced knowledge, advanced skills than they used to have in, I mean, 30 years back, I mean, 50 years ago. And instead of, I mean, settling down to understand what people know, trying to understand what you know, they try to tag you as a criminal, as a bad person. They try to, I mean, tell people you are into. I mean, they have this thing they have here in code. They call it money ritual. Like people use people for money, and I don't see the logic in that, but it's kind of strange that people try to tag you when they don't understand you, or when you're trying to make something good out of your life, or you're so powerful that they can't control. They try to tag you with something worse. So, like your case, for instance, you see, you are a good person, with the ability to do bad stuff, right? But you don't do it, and they still tend to tag you because you have a powerful weapon that no one has. And instead of working with you, like they say, you can't beat them, you join them. They try to bring you down, and that is really bad.
Nana, I see you as a role model for somebody who, and Alberto and also Amy. I want to say thank you to all of you, because all of you are sharing nuggets of journeys of life that fuck, dude. I mean, I can tell you right now, like the shit that I fucking been through is probably the craziest fucking shit in my life. But I tell you what, man, all it's done is fucking reinvigorate my fucking will, man, to just continue fucking fighting. Because I don't want to end up like Julian Assange. But at the same time, I look at him and I see what can be done to you, what shouldn't be done to all of us, just because we have our fucking voices and we want to voice our fucking opinion. And you know what? We're not going to stand for fucking any of it. Not one bit. You know what? I've worked in IT for 16 fucking years. There should be no fucking reason why every time I apply for a fucking job, I get rejected. I get to wait. I try to fucking date a woman. I get rejected because of what? Because of these fucking rumors about me that I run a Sonder. Get the fuck out of here, dude. And they know it's all fucking hogwash bullshit. They fucking know it. You know what? And on top of that, they know I'm not a fucking criminal and I don't have a fucking criminal record. And you know what? I don't care about anybody, what walk of life they come from. I accept everybody, what religion, female. I mean, yeah, I'm heterosexual. That's fine. But I'll tell you one thing. There's one thing I'll never be. I'll never be homosexual, and I'm not homophobe. But I accept everybody out of all walks of life. But I'll tell you one thing. Well, I'll get one damn thing straight right now. Sorry, I eat pussy, and I'll fucking tell you that right now, and I don't give a shit. Well, one thing I'll tell you though, out of all those rumors that are about me that run about, every application. Oh yeah, the hiring manager's out for a week. Comes back, he sounds like somebody's fucking dying. Next thing you know, oh, he's gone. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're overqualified. Dude, obviously it's the system trying to fuck me. They know that. They got me on reject and they keep fucking disemboweling my fucking credibility because they know that I have something that they fucking are worried about. They're scared fucking shitless. And you know what? I'm not here to fucking scare anybody. I'm just here to simply fucking live, have a job, meet a woman, have a family, and that's it. And that's the goddamn fucking truth. And they don't want to fucking hear it. You know what? I don't give a motherfucker. That's who the fuck I am. Mic drop on that one.
Uh, yeah, I completely agree with you. Hello, we have somebody, Lakshmi. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Actually, I'm not good at English. Okay, I'm from India.
We're talking here about cybercrime, cybersecurity, and uh, the way cybercrimes are being investigated, prosecuted in our countries, and how how
I'm
frustrating.
listening. Like, um, so you were discussing about the cybercrime, right? Or
Yeah, and basically cybercrimes and the lack of warranties and the average people have when it comes to being prosecuted for a crime, and all the rights that we should have and they are not respected, and all the strategies used by those who have power in order to uh, try to destroy our reputation, destroy our lives, and try to shut up the people who wants to tell the truth and try to expose them. That's why.
how they are targeting, any discrimination manner, or in what way they are
Sorry, I
how they,
didn't understand you.
like how they are targeting people, like cyber crimes, right? You said. So how they
Yeah.
are targeting? Yeah,
No,
how they are targeting?
no. Basically, well, first of all, in India, there was a person here, and most of the people that come to my spaces are from India, and I am aware of the situation. Sadly, not about COVID, but about your government and censorship in your country, and the way they try to control the population is something that it's. I think it's a case that it's really a scenario where it's well represented the control the government wants to have in society. And well, the best example is Pegasus, the Pegasus scandal that for me, as I always say, is the tip of an iceberg. All the governments in the world use one or another kind of system to monitor and track the people they want to that are threats for them, and they want just to know everything about them in order to destroy them. Uh, so I don't know if you know how the system works in India regarding those
Yes,
people.
right. Yeah, Pegasus, they want to install that software, and politicians like that. Uh, uh, that's what all I know about that. Like, and that particular software, Pegasus software, were installed or to the politicians only. So to maintain the like national security and secrets. So whether they may leak their secrets to the other country, like that they are telling, but I don't know why there is a need for Pegasus and all.
Yeah, basically they're targeting journalists and people from the position of the government in order to know what they are doing, everything about them. And as far as I know, the government in India is not answering anything. I mean, they are not giving any explanation to the opposition and
Yeah, so
to the
there's
citizens
no proper
regarding that.
explanation given to the people, as well as nobody have the clear idea about Pegasus. they are just intervening their personal lives only. Like they are spoiling their reputations, dignity, everything. So it's like spying.
No, it's not
Um,
like a spying. It's actually spying. It's espionage. It's basically that. It's completely illegal.
illegal,
Yes,
legal or
illegal.
okay.
Yeah. No, go ahead, sir.
So that is no, no, no. That is what I'm telling. Why? What is the need for Pegasus? Why all of sudden? I don't know why they are. What is the need? Of course, what is the need for Pegasus software?
Basically,
I can answer that.
yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why that they need this is first off, they are controlled by larger governments' financial interests, and the reason why they need to know so much about, especially the personal life of politicians, is because here we have extortion in the United States, and like in India, they need to know the pain points of politicians so they can silence them and threaten their families and get away with it. It is not entirely illegal. It flies under the radar, but it is to have a boot on the throat of people in case they need a favor. And it is typically intelligence agencies who are involved in this, so that if they need to hide somebody or they need to hide something, or they need a cleanup job, say a cover up done, they just go, we have all this data. Now you're going to cooperate. And the people do cooperate because if they're confronted with something that they don't know about, information taken, and they are fearful. So the whole point is to have the hand around the throat of influential people.
And you
Mm,
know what, Amy, I was just going to add or just ask about just that one point was up to what point until there's a chokehold on every single fucking person in this world, until everybody's literally shut the fuck up to the point where they're fucking tools themselves, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm tired of it." If you're tired of it, motherfucker, then go to bed. Ain't nobody fucking telling you to fucking listen to it. You know, seriously, what am I gonna shut my fucking mouth up because you don't want to fucking hear me? You can go fuck.
Right, but here's the thing about that. Okay, governments need a happy majority in order to stay legitimate. So they're not going to do it to everybody at first. They're going to do it to the people who, if they speak out, the mass majority is going to go, what are you talking about? Turn their backs and shake their heads and then support a conviction or the destruction of the person.
Exactly. So that's the part where it really gets me is that people who don't have the balls to stand up and fucking say something for yourself, like literally, dude, like like if you can't for yourself stand up and have the courage to fucking say, look, obviously something's not fucking right, then don't fucking say anything at all. Keep your fucking mouth shut. But if somebody else is talking and you don't want to hear them, then fucking ignore them. Just fucking ignore them, dude. You know, that's the problem with some people is like they don't know when to just tune something out if they don't want to fucking hear it. You know, but I'm not going to let somebody else take away my freedom of speech because you're trying to inhibit me and trying to stop me from fucking saying what I want to say. Fuck no, it ain't going to work. I'm sorry. You got something else coming if you think that's going to happen. You know, and that's the problem. If they're doing that to me and they're doing that to Alberto and they're doing that to you, they're doing that to all of us, you know, in this stage, in this form. And that's the problem is it's gotten to a point where it's almost like social acceptance by disambiguation and dissonance. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You think I'm that fucking stupid that I'm going to continue to let you think that you're going to dissuade me by your stupid, outlandish fucking lies? Stupid.
Sorry, myself.
Okay,
I blocked myself. Sorry, I couldn't speak. I was listening to Sim. No, this is a topic that I'm glad that to know that I'm not alone. Nobody is alone in this, and we just have to get together, the people that think alike, and we can make a change all together. uh, we have the power. I mean, they can, as I said, they can shut me up, but if they cannot shut up all of us. So l- let's make a change. And well, Amy, I want to, I would love to prepare a space to talk about this topic with you and with all of you that were sharing your point of view with about this issue that are all aligned, and well, create something to create generate awareness to let people know what's going on, and well, make it last at, as Amy said. I mean, not make it something punctual as a meeting, but to create something that is available for everybody. And I can do my best to get as much publicity as possible of that. Not to brag, but I am good at that, and I have many people that worked in. I know people that works in the journalist field in the United States that are friends of mine here in Twitter. They are willing to help me in anything. So it's not about the people who knows about technology that are going to make a change. I mean, everybody in society can play a role from their from their side to make things change. It's not about those who knows about computers. It's much more than that, and people with that knows about laws, social issues, politics. They can all help, and they are needed to 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 make a change with a strategy and in a smart way, because mm, uh, somebody alone cannot change the world, but many of us can, I think. So thank you very much for having been here, and uh, I will contact you via direct message so we can arrange a space to talk about this and prepare it with time, if you are okay with that. And I don't know if anybody who is listening here wants to add anything to this. um, like Sammy, would you like to say anything before we close? No? Nana, would you like to add anything? Or you are watching the video that I sent you? Uh, Simbi, would you like to add anything? Amy?
Well, it's about my bedtime. It's past my bedtime, but yes, I am all in favor of this. The biggest part of this needs to be a calm, reasoned education. And when we can approach people and stay calm, that's when people will listen more. But when they're hard to wake up, that's when it might be appropriate for anger to take place. So when you deal with people at large, it has to be um, no agenda really, other than we're not even here for ourselves. We're here to save you trouble and bring you success and prosperity. So that's just my 2 cents for
Okay.
$300.
We have all to be aware that after this conversation, those of you that are not being monitored are just being targeted by the NSA. You, Amy, are another problem after this conversation. You are another problem for them. Uh, so, Nana, if you are not being monitored, well, you will be under the radar, and somebody. Yeah, Nar, you want to say something, my friend?
Oh no, no, I'm just listening. I was just laughing to what you said. I'm prepared for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I actually didn't say
The
any.
NSA, the
Yeah,
NSA has been up my craw for so long it's not even funny. So, whoever's listening, hello.
no, I would like before Nar, you're a speaker. Would you like to say something about the topic we were talking about? Or?
Hola, Alberto.
Hola,
¿Cómo
¿qué
estás,
tal?
Alberto?
Muy bien. Estamos por
Lo
cerrar.
siento, en realidad, lo siento, en realidad, acabo de enterar.
Ok, estamos por terminar el espacio, pero te invito a seguirnos después en un espacio específico sobre ciberseguridad y leyes, privacidad y otros temas similares. Ok, ok. Well, Amy,
Okay.
anything else?
I think we're pretty much done here because I've got to get some sleep. I've been up all night. But thank you again for hosting this space. Definitely get up a WordPress page, get up a website. Well, you already have a website, so I guess put this on WordPress if it's not already on WordPress. And the biggest part of this is the economic situation because that's immediately something people can connect to. And I'll be happy to kibitz in on that and help build it out, help plan it out. But yes, we have a large project. Another consideration is funding. So we need to figure out how we are going to fund and collect support from other people. So with that respect, I wish you all an excellent night.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, Amy. It's been wonderful talking to you. Well, it's been really a pleasure. So thank you very much for your time. Anything else anybody wants to add or we close? Nana, you saw the video, so you are probably laughing. Amigo de Colombia, me complica tu nombre. Your nickname, it's hard for me to pronounce. So,
Mi nombre es Eterno, está bien, pero mucho gusto para encontrarse finalmente aquí, porque yo no tuve la oportunidad para encontrarse en ese espacio y entonces me pide disculpa por eso.
No, nada que disculpar.
De nada. Muchas gracias para todas las personas aquí.
Gracias.
Gracias, thank you. Good night. Bye bye.
Muchísimas gracias, Alberto.
Bye.
And no soy una persona explorativa.
¿Cómo? Okay. Well, thank you. Good night. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Alberto. Thank you.